What's good, y'all, man? It's time to talk about it. The best one-loss team in college football. Hey, man, some good teams on here. Let's talk about who the best team. All right, so you got SMU. SMU's having a great season, man. I want to give them credit for what they've been able to do this year, man, with Jennings and how the offenses look. They're running the ball, playing smash-mouth football. Defensively, they've been playing, really good so far this year. Beat a really good Pitt team. SMU deserves credit. Now, the lie they're going to come for me with a cakewalk schedule that they have, but they've done what they're supposed to do. When you have opponents in front of you, you're supposed to win. First year in the ACC, they're going to play more familiar opponents as the years goes on. But I think it's been a great year for their coaching staff and their program. Now, Boise State, man, they're having a good season so far. The quarterback has been really good. Underrated quarterback in Madsen. He's been spectacular in these games they've been winning. I know, same thing. Y'all could be like, well, they're group of five. They haven't played anybody. But look, man, they got the potential Heisman Trophy winner on their team with Ashton Jeanty. He's having a phenomenal year, over 1,200-plus yards rushing. He's been doing his thing this year. They look good. It might suck because they might end up playing Ohio State in the first round of the playoff, but you love to see a team like this get in. And they also went toe-to-toe with Oregon. I like what I've seen from them so far this year. Now, if you're Tennessee, you've had a pretty good year, man. It's been up and down offensively with Nico at quarterback, man. You've seen some things you liked. You beat Bama, but I don't think they're the best one-loss team. I think there's a little bit more on the bone with some other teams. So I'm gonna say Tennessee, no. But they've had a really good year. I thought overall had some big wins. Defense has been playing pretty decently. Team to watch. Now, Iowa State, man, they have looked good so far in the Big 12, but that loss to Texas Tech at home hurts. Struggle a little bit in key areas in that game. You know what I'm saying? When you look at some of the efficiency levels and things like that, third downs, like they struggled a lot in that game. So Iowa State, decent team, you know what I'm saying, but probably not the best. Now, Notre Dame could make a strong argument in this one. How good they are defensively, offensively is finally starting to come alive with Bo Collins, Jeremiah Love, obviously Riley Leonard. They have a top 10 defense, man. So if their defense can continue to play how they're playing and the offense can continue to find their rhythm, look out. Now, Washington State on the West Coast, they've been doing their thing as well, man. They've been impressive. Slept on 7-1 in Pac-12. A lot of people not going to talk about them, but they've been doing the thing with what they can do. A lot of people going to cover their schedule and the teams and people they've been playing, but they've been pretty decent and solid this year. Now, next, Pittsburgh. Again, I think they've been having a great year. Ugly lost to SMU on here. But when you look at Pittsburgh and what they've been able to do, how they made Syracuse look, how they made Kyle McCord look, how big their defense stepped up, they just didn't have it that night in SMU. That's why I took them on the road after a big win on Thursday night. It's a lot to overcome. Eli Holstein had a decent game, but just got to work out some kinks. But a pretty decent team, definitely not the best one-loss team. All right, now Texas has a very strong argument as well. Only ugly loss was to Georgia. Very good defense with Anthony Hill. They can rush the passer. They got a pretty good secondary. I think I seen like they're the number one rated defense according to most metrics. This is a very, very, very good football team. Offensively, Quinn Ewers just has to continue to give what the defense gives them, be able to make those throws. They've dealt with injuries this year with Isaiah Bond and things like that, but Ryan Wingo and several other receivers have stepped up. They got to get the ball to Gunnar Helm more. Texas is a very good football team. They make a strong, strong case to be the best one-loss team, but they are not. Georgia's another one. But Georgia's so up and down, peaks and valleys, right? See, but what's holding them back is Carson Beck. We got to be honest. Trevor Etienne had that injury. They ran the ball well with Nick Frazier. Defense has been pretty good. Has played some complimentary football all year long. Special teams has been good. But the problem is quarterback. They got to figure that out, right? They got to make it easier for him to dissect the defense and decide what he's going to eventually end up doing. Those 3 interceptions, I think he's up to like 10 in the past 5 games. That's not going to cut it. He has to be way better for them to have a chance at Georgia. So that's my humble opinion there. But Georgia, pretty good football team. Once Carson Beck can figure it out and play how he's playing last year, they could be potentially dangerous. But the number one-loss team in the country is Ohio State. It got to just be said, man. No disrespect to ULL, Raging Cajuns. They're having a good season in their conference so far this year. I like what they've been doing with the quarterback play and running the ball. But the number one team is Ohio State. Ohio State has everything you need at every single position pretty much, right? They can rush the passer. The defense is been playing more elite football, right? When they went up against Penn State, they was able to get that 4th and goal stop. Now, the play calling wasn't good for Penn State, you know what I'm saying? And James Franklin has improved the ability to win a big game, but it was spectacular for them to be able to stop them in that moment, right? A lot of people hate on Will Howard. Will Howard's been having a great year. Besides that blunder at the end of the game against Oregon, he's been spectacular this year. They can get the ball to Jeremiah Smith. They can get the ball to Emeka Egbuka. They can run the ball with Quinshon Judkins, who had one of his best games in the recent few games that they've played with 95 yards and a touchdown, right? They can run the ball also with Travion Henderson. The offensive line, even though they beat up and bowled it, protects against a really good defensive front for Penn State in that game. They have everything they need. Caleb Downs on the other side of the ball at the safety position. Look, Ohio State is the best team, best one-loss team, I think, in the country. Over Penn State. Penn State, like I said, got some things to figure out. Pretty good team, but Ohio State's the best. They have everything you need, and I think they're going to be in the college football playoffs. So that's my thoughts. They are the best one-loss team in the country.